Good morning. It's cold and I don't want to get up yet. But I gotta get up. So here are my socks. They're frozen. All right, we're just leaving camp and we had a really slow start to the morning. Took a long time with breakfast and coffee, in part because we know that mileage-wise, it's not going to be a very big day, but scenery-wise, it promises to be another big day. Less so much on the waterfalls. There will be waterfalls, but more on some of the rock formations and ledges. So stick around with us and we'll check out some of those things. We're still walking Trail 209 here along Sipsey Fork. And when we first got up this morning, there was blue skies and sunshine for the sunrise. And now it has started fading to more of a gray day. And I sure hope this blows over because today was supposed to be the nicest of all of the days. But right now it's looking like it might rain. After a cloudy start to the day, we finally have some sun. All right, behind me is Shiprock. It's right there. And what I've been told is there's no way to the top. I've never found one. I've never found any way to even pretend like you're going to the top unless you're some free climber. Also, further over here is the Eye of the Needle, which we are going to in just a second. And so stick around. We'll show you the views from there. That's Eye of the Needle. This is a place I call just the ledge. And I was just telling Crow, I have sat here and had more lunches than I can count. And if you listen closely, you can hear the rapids. The trail where we were hiking just a few minutes ago is right down there. And if it sounds like I'm out of breath, it's because I am. All right, so I'm at Thompson Creek, or just Thompson Trailhead. 206 just came from that way. And normally, when I'm here at this trailhead, I'm either starting or finishing. I don't think I've ever, well, no, one time before, I hiked right through it. But today, we're gonna continue up here, up 208. And that'll connect us to 224. And we'll camp not far from 224 and go visit B Branch. And while we're at B Branch, we're going to see a very big tree and a waterfall. Okay, so coming up 208, almost said 28, we have now gained the ridge line up here, and it's mostly ridge walk. basically for the rest of the trip, except for the little side trip today to go into Bee Branch Canyon. So we're at the intersection of 208 and 224. We are getting off of 208, which continues straight ahead that way. These are my Snyder chips, or pretzel chips. They're fantastic. I highly recommend. And we are branching off and going 224, and that'll take us to Bee Branch and ultimately out tomorrow. You can't hardly tell by looking at it, but 204 continues going that direction, and 204A, which takes you to the waterfall at Bee Branch, and the big tree cuts off in that direction, and we're going to camp in that direction. We've already set up camp up above Bee Branch. There are a couple of, or rather up above this canyon, there are a couple of campsites up there. We've already set up, but I haven't shown you camp setup yet because we wanted to come here and check out the canyon and the big tree, but we were sort of trying to beat some rain that we know is coming, just don't know exactly when it's going to be here. But this is Bee Branch, and you can just see there where it drops off, and I'll show you from down below. What you're looking at now is the base of what is affectionately called the big tree. It is a yellow poplar that is believed to have been a sapling around the time of Columbus. And just from this image that you're looking at now, there's no way to make real sense out of the size of this. And so I'm going to walk up there to it and give you a sense of just how big it is, and then I'll pan up and show you the height. It's really big. Can you see how tall this is? And there was a time where the top of it was blown out by a tornado. I've read that that's about 80 feet. I don't know. I didn't measure it. If all of these beautiful places in Sipsey Wilderness are gems, then this canyon is the diamond. This is Crow's bivy and tarp setup. Now he's got me wanting a bivy and a tarp. And I'm over here set up with the two. I left the doors partially open so that some wind could get in there, but enough coverage in case it started to rain. Crow said we're gonna try to have a fire tonight. He said he's brimming with some kind of strange energy.
Just for a second, it'll go away.
I'm brimming with some kind of strange fatigue. So I guess we'll give it a shot, and then we're gonna have dinner, and probably the rain will be here by then, and we'll be turning in.
I was watching a YouTube video about dogs that have the zoomies, and it's when you get home and your dog starts running around for a little bit and they get tired. I think that's what I got. I'm an old dog that's running around with zoomies for a second, then I'll get tired in about 5 minutes.
All right, so we're gonna find him a couch to get on as soon as he's done with the zoomies. Well, the plan for possibly having a fire, that's out the window. The plan to at least sit outside in my chair and eat supper like a human That's out the window because it has started raining. We knew it was coming. We just weren't 100% sure what time. Right now the rain is not hard, but if it's already started, you know it's coming. So I'm trying to get in here, get comfortable, kind of batten down the hatches. I got my sleeping bag already set up and sleeping pad blown up. Next is going to be my pillow, so I can be comfortable. Sitting up like this is not so bad in the tent. That's one of the things about this Gossamer Gear, the 2. It's tall enough that if I'm in the center, I can sit all the way up. So that's not so bad, I guess. But I've got my sit pad over here just outside this door, and I will get that as level as I can and boil water for chili mac with beef. It is still a little bit early. It's only 4:30. Just kind of settling into camp life confined to a tent. Cooking from my vestibule. Well, good morning. It's the morning of day 4. And this is the last day. We're about to get packed up and go. But the most important part of the morning is we're going to have a cup of coffee first. After we get packed up, we'll have about 7-ish miles to get out. And I'll show you some of the sights along the way. But first, coffee. Last night we had a rain. I mentioned it as I was getting ready to go to bed. And it finally stopped a little after 2. This was a harder rain, and there was some wind, a lot of wind. Right now it's about 35 degrees. So getting off to a pretty cold start. And as soon as I get this water boiled for coffee and drink the coffee, I'll start packing up. We're gonna make a pretty quick escape, I think. I'm all packed up and ready to go. Now if Crow would just get his act together, we could go.
I'm trying.
Back on trail this chilly morning. It's a little bit before 8 o'clock and it is really cool. I'm still kind of bundled up. I think at some point I may come out of this top layer, but probably going to stay in most of this for the rest of the day. We have 7-ish miles to get out. And I'll show you some of the sights along the way. So I'm back to the junction of 204 and 224. This morning I've been coming up 204 from where we camped last night, just above B Branch and the canyon. On 224, that's the direction we came from yesterday. And that is the direction we'll be going today. And this is the last trail junction of the trip. We'll be on 224 until we get back to the truck. We're maybe a third of the way back. But you can see behind me that we're kind of walking through these pine tree tunnels. And because of all the pine trees, and all the pine needles on the trail, it makes for a trail that's really easy on the feet, which is nice on day 4. Started making our way down off the ridge, and we're getting some rock bluffs again. There'll be more coming up.